Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything out here on the diamond in Lower Afton with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Jacob Willett. Coach, how's it going?
It's good. Good day, nice weather. Can't complain.
It's finally a nice day that we can sit out here and talk.
It is.
I think every week that we've sat out here or sat inside your office so far, it's been a little chilly. We've been bundled up. You've had the heavier coat on, so it's nice to actually come out here when it's in the 80s, sun shining, and the birds are singing.
It is. It's nice. It's nice to play baseball in this weather too. We had a really nice day outside. It's hot against Sullivan East. Had a good day. I mean, weather-wise against West Ridge. I know it was a little chilly on Tuesday when we played, but not a bad week. Good week for baseball. It's becoming, baseball weather. I don't like playing when it's 30 degrees, 40 degrees. I like playing when it's 75, but you don't always get that, so you got to do with what you got.
Oh yeah, and it's getting to that time of the year now where it's perfect for baseball weather coming into the postseason. This is your final week of the regular season. You've got 3 games this week, 2 with North Green and 1 with Cott County that we'll talk about in the back half. Let's talk about the 3 before that we previewed last week in Morristown East, West Ridge, and Sullivan East. Morristown East, we'll start off with that one. I feel like that's the one that's going to take up most of our time because what a game that was. You win 11-10 here at home against Morristown East in 8 innings. Pull off a 7-run comeback with James Seidel's walk-off winner in the 8th inning. Talk about what went into that victory and how big it was to come back from that.
Really a tale of 2 stories. Bubby went out. I think he started that game on the mound, threw it well, kept us in it. They tagged him up late, scored some runs. It was, I want to say, we got down 5-6 runs. Gave a freshman an opportunity. He hasn't got a chance to throw in varsity yet. And struggled. The kid's going to be a player. It was his first time out. And he walked the first couple guys he faced. We went to Gavin Murray after that. Gavin Murray worked out of a jam. Kept it, I would say, manageable. It didn't feel like it at the time. We went down 8 runs, I think, in the 6th inning. It's really, you wouldn't consider that manageable. But, we went down 8 runs. Murray worked out of that jam. Went back out the next inning. Well, we come back in on offense and we put up 4, I think. Murray goes back out. Clean inning. Really well. Keeps us in the game. He did a great job. Mr. Bowling for the state of Tennessee.
Yes,
Came into the game and did a phenomenal job for us. Competed on the mound. Worked out of a tough situation. Gave us a chance. He doesn't work out of that situation and allow no runs. We don't get that experience.
Yeah.
And he might have not realized it in the moment, but he came through big for us in that situation. And then we came through and strung some good at bats together. We drew some walks, and it wasn't 4 pitch walks that we drew. It was 3-2, foul a couple pitches off, work the count, draw a walk. And then we get a hit here, a timely hit. We get a bunt down for a hit. There was a lot of things that went together. If one little thing goes wrong there offensively, we don't win that game. Now, obviously, we executed really well at a high level, and it just seemed like nobody tried to play hero ball. It was, I'm going to do my job and pass it to the guy behind me. And then the guy behind me is going to do his job, pass it to the next guy up, and so on. And as a coach, man, that's all you can want to see out of your guys is nobody trying to be the hero, just going up and doing your dang job, one guy at a time. I know Nick Saban was big on that. Do your job. You do your job, you don't have to worry about the guy beside you. He's going to do his job. And we did that. We didn't do it in the first 5 innings. They jumped on us early. Bubby had a good day at the plate, Jake Hinkle, but not a ton of success early on in that game. We had sporadic hits. We couldn't piece anything together, and then it just seemed like we could do no wrong towards the later half of that game. And then Lincoln came in the 8th and shut it down and snaked the win there on the mound. I know I always liked that in college when I come in through 1 inning and got the win.
Oh, yeah.
That was always a good feeling. But
Lincoln's cool to get a win, kind of a scenario like that in the 8th inning because he's used to pitching maybe 1 through 5, 1 through 6 and getting the win. So that's another win that's added to his stellar year this year.
He's done it a couple times for us this year. He came in against Happy Valley and got a win late. Through 1 inning and got a win. Came in another Hampton, I want to say. Came in and threw 1 inning and got a win against Hampton, 2 innings, whatever it was. But yeah, he's done his job for the most part. We've relied on him in the later innings a couple times this year, and he's always gave us a chance in the later innings. So it's big to have that guy in the back end, that can start or come in a tight spot late in the game and push it to extra innings, or push it to a tie game in the bottom half of that game in the eighth. When we go gets 3 outs in the top of the eighth, we come back in and we walk it off. And we didn't even report it out. We had bases loaded, no outs, quality at bat after quality at bat, and we were able to win.
How big of a hit was that for James too to get that walk off?
He did his job. It wasn't a big swing. It was a chopper into the 6 hole. And at the end of the day, that's all we needed in that spot. That's all we needed. And the guys in front of him, they did their job to put themselves in that position. And it's huge for him to go in. The moment not too big. He's a senior. The moment wasn't too big. He said, I need a chopper in the 6 hole. By gosh, that's what I'm going to do. He got on top of the baseball, hit it down into the ground, and we scored a run. He did his job, executed to perfection.
Looking at that game too, you've got to be happy with how many walks you drew also, because not only did you put together 10 total hits on 11 runs on 10 hits, you drew 9 walks also. So to be able to get on base 19 times through hits and walks, you have to be happy with that around this time of year, especially against a team like East.
A pretty quality pitching we faced too. And like I said, it wasn't like 4-pitch walks that we were drawing. It was quality at bat walks. There's a big difference. You play some games, the pitchers just don't have it. You go up and it's a 4-pitch walk, 5-pitch walk, not very competitive misses. I mean, their guys were around the zone, and we were putting quality at bats together. So it's really encouraging to see. And then we did a lot of similar. It was very similar to Sullivan East. I know we lost that game, and it's a little ahead of what we were getting to, but the Morristown East and the Sullivan East game are very similar. We get down a lot late. We just ran out of gas at the end of Sullivan East. And, we were 1 or 2 hits away from tying that game in the 7th. But it don't all. You got to be perfect when you get down a 6 or plus runs, later half innings. 6th, 7th inning, you got to be perfect. And even if like Gavin Crum came up to the plate with, I think, bases loaded with 2 outs, and he probably hit the hardest ball he's hit all year, maybe the hardest ball any of us has hit all year, and just straight into the first baseman's glove. Whereas if it gets down the line, it's a different outcome in that game. But yeah, when you put yourself in a deficit, you got to be perfect. But the positive thing is, really good baseball teams are tough to beat. So you go down 6, 7 runs, not so good baseball teams fold in that situation. We've showed that we got life. We can come back and compete and challenge the team, make them execute, play really well to beat us and finish us off if they are going to beat us.
2 players that I wanted to talk about from that game who had big days. We already mentioned Jake, who had a big day. He was 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs, a run that came from that solo shot in the first inning, and then Dom Atchison, 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs. He had the game-tying 2 RBI double that ended up forcing extra innings. So how big were both of those 2 players at the plate?
Well, Jake's been really productive for us all year. I just said it off there. Offensively, we would struggle big time without him. He's a ton of our run production. And a competitor. The guy just wants to win, and those guys are tough to replace. But a guy like Jake, he's a competitor. He wants to win. He's a guy that we hate to see him leave here when the season ends, but unfortunately, it happens. A group comes in, a group goes out. So, but I'm super proud of him for the production we've got out of him and James this year. They've been excellent leaders for us and excellent players and competitors. Dom in that game struggled mightily. He had a couple of bad reads in the outfield early on in that game. I think when we made a pitching change, when Jake came out of the game, we removed Dom from the lineup because he was having a rough game, and it happens. He's a really good player, got in his head a little bit, and was struggling. And when he came out of the game, he was frustrated. And I saw that. He knows he was frustrated. We had a little conversation. Told him, I need you to be a leader. Dude, step up when your time's called. Be ready. This isn't the end of your season because you're coming out of this game right now. You're a key part of what we do here. And I'm sure in that time, in the 6th inning when he came out of that game, he did not. The last thing he thought in his mind was, I'm going to come up to bat in the 7th inning with a chance to tie this game off. Probably the last thing he thought. But it's crazy how baseball works. This situation presented itself, and I know what kind of competitor Dom is, and there was nobody in this locker room, in our locker room, that wanted that if that more than Dom, especially after he struggled. He felt like he let his teammates down. And that's not something that's going to sit with him well because he's a competitor. So I chose to give him an opportunity to come in and make right. And by gosh, did he ever. He delivered a 2-out base hit into the gap that tied that game, where we were down 2 runs. He sends the ball left center wall. We tie the game, go into extras and win it. We don't win that game without him staying mentally engaged and locked in that moment. And I couldn't be more proud of that kid for battling adversity and coming back after a rough situation in that game for him. I mean, he'll be the first to take it. He was struggling. But he came in and took a reset, went back out when his number was called, and did his job.
And you finish off that one, you move into the Westridge and Sullivan East games that we'll talk about. Westridge was the opposite of that one. They scored 10 on you, but you weren't able to scratch any across, lose that one 10-0. And then Sullivan East, you kind of alluded to, got caught behind early, started to catch some momentum at the end, but weren't able to finish it like you were against Morristown East. So talk about both of those losses and how you finished the week last week.
Westridge is an excellent baseball team, an excellent baseball team. They're a really competitive team. They swing it extraordinarily well, and we've got guys that can throw it well. But when they see Science Hill, Dobbins, Bennett, and a conference schedule, and then they come in and see our good arms, honestly, it's average to them because of the high-level baseball that they're playing. So, they're able to hit us. That's the biggest thing. They swing the bats, man. Both times we've played them, they're guys that competed on the mound, and they swung it really well. And I think we faced their one. I don't know. It seems like every non-conference game we've played this year, we've seen the other teams won, which, I mean, it's fine with me. I don't have a problem with it because that's preparing us for postseason. So we saw Sullivan East won. We saw Westridge's won. And we're seeing, the best that these teams have to offer. And Westridge, we still play well. I mean, I wouldn't say we played terrible. They played better than we did. They're a good team. Not to say we're not a good team. It's just there's levels to it. They're a quality 4A team. I know they haven't had a ton of success in 4A, but my gosh, there's a huge difference between 4A and 2A.
And then moving into the Sullivan East game also. Talk about that one in full.
So Sullivan East, their starter was really good arm. And we did some really good things offensively to scratch some runs across the instant. I thought our plan to play pretty good, and we saw a lot of things out of guys that we haven't got a lot of production from that we need some production moving into postseason. So the guys that's might have started in the top half of our lineup and in the bottom half now because they've been in slumps, really started seeing some quality things happen for them at the plate, which is very positive. Whether it be I had good at bat, quality at bat, whether it was a line out, we saw some good at bats out of guys that we need to see some good at bats from, and that's really encouraging. And if that continues this week, we'll be in a good spot moving into postseason. I think the Sullivan East game was encouraging. Defensively, we struggled. We made some mistakes that are uncharacteristic from us, which is ultimately what led to us giving up 9 runs. But we lose 9-6. We face a really good arm. We put up 6. I'm not going to complain a whole lot about that because it shows the competitive nature of our guys. We face a good arm, but we hit it well.
Moving after a tough week, you go into a week this week where you've got 2 games against North Greene and Cotton County. You've got 1 on the road, then you finish the regular season off with 2 home games, including senior night against North Greene. Before we cover that too much, though, of course, we need to get a word in from our sponsors first. So we'll be right back after this break to talk about those 3 games here on Grassroots Media.
At Terry's Flooring, we have quality products along with quality installers that can make your space look better than ever before. The craftsmanship that our installers bring to the job site is unmatched. Along with the great installers, we have a huge selection of hardwood, LVP, tile, and carpet. We know that spending money isn't that easy, but at Terry's Flooring, we care about your money too. Stop on in and see my Popsy at Terry's Flooring and allow him to save you money while enjoying the hassle-free experience.
Greene County, when the game's on the line, you need a team you can trust. Just like your favorite players on the field, Bailey Heating, Air, and Electrical has been showing up for over 30 years, delivering top-notch service to our hometown. We're just not your local experts, we're your neighbors. committed to keeping your home comfortable all year long. Call now at 423-636-8409 to become a member with us and get a heating inspection before winter comes.
Life's better with Bailey.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything out here on the diamond with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, joined here with baseball head coach Jacob Willett. Got the whistling diesel going by us right now. Hold on.
Gavin Crum, folks.
There we go. Got 3 games this week that we alluded to. You've got North Green going on the road today to play them at 5 o'clock. That'll, of course, be played by the time this is released. But later on in the week, you finish the regular season with 2 home games. You've got Cott County and North Green. We talked about the first North Green game a little bit last week. So let's talk about the 2 home games you've got this week. You've got Cott County, a team that you played against earlier this year that you were actually planning to play against, I think, in the Buddy Hawk Classic, and then North Green, a team that you'll play twice within 5 days. So speak about both of those home games you've got to close out the regular season.
Cott County's getting hot right now. I've kept up with them a little bit because we play them again this week, and they got off to a slow start, but they're super talented. And here over the last couple of weeks, they've had a ton of success. And I think we played them right when they were starting to hit their stride the first time. They're quality. They're coached really well. Their coaches, we talked about it earlier. He's old school guy. He's a firecracker, but I mean he does a good job. He's had a ton of success, and he's really turned that program around where they're super competitive now, and they play hard, and they play a lot like us. Honestly, they're very similar to us. They're probably as similar to us as any team you'll find in the state of Tennessee. They're quality. That's for sure. They've got some good arms. They do little things really well. And that's the biggest difference between Cott County prior to 2 years ago and Cott County of today. They do the little things really well. They handle the baseball. They execute stuff. They execute their offensive plans. They bunt it well. They handle it well. Their catcher plays phenomenal behind the plate. They've got good arms. They cover a lot of ground in the field. Solid defensively. They'll piece it together. Good at bats. There's a lot like us. So it's always tough to play a mirrored image of yourself, it seems like. But we got a chance to do it, and we felt like we were kind of robbed up there last time of an opportunity. We lost by 1 and it ended to a controversial call, but now we got a chance to play them at home now, and we split with them last year. We'd like to split with them again this year. We'd like to win 2, but if we can split with them, it's better than getting swept by them. So it's not going to be easy. They're going to be quality. They're going to play well. They're going to play clean. So you're going to have to earn it against them. North Green, we've got them for senior night later in the week. It's going to be a special day for our seniors, hopefully. You want to win that last one, senior night. And North Green, we weren't able to beat North Green last year, and it didn't sit right with a lot of our guys. I know they want those back, but the only thing you can do is move forward. We got a chance to play them today. We got a chance to play them later on in the week. We'll see when we can end up playing it with the rain, but hopefully we can get them both in, and have our senior night and send those guys off victorious. But we got to get stuff cleaned up. We've got to play well. We got a chance to play 2 pretty quality teams here moving into our district tournament next week. We've got 9 days to prepare for conference tournament. Starts next. We play next Wednesday. So we got to get ready to go. That's as simple as that. Your season can end in a hurry if you don't start playing good ball now. So our seniors, I know they want to go out winners. James, he's been here, 4 years with us. Bubby's been here for 3 years with us. James played under my dad here for his freshman year, and they won a ton of baseball games. Probably one of the winningest, if not the winningest team to come through Chuckey-Doak. They went 26-5. I mean, that's a lot of wins for a program. And he's won a lot of baseball games here and left his mark on the program. And Bubby's been an excellent player. He's a five-tool guy. He can catch it, he can throw it, he can hit it, he can run. It's tough to replace those guys, man. It really is. But, you know, we got to keep pushing forward as a program. We feel like we're in a good spot. We've got the last, month or so with these guys, and then we move on to the next group. And it's a sad time to lose guys, but it's an exciting time to gain some guys. We've got some guys moving up that can play. So hopefully we can just keep climbing along and keep growing as a program.
You always have that sad thought in the back of your head going towards the end of the season about losing those seniors and losing that senior class, but the exciting part of the season is right around the corner.
It is.
You've got the postseason right around the corner. You've got your final 3 regular season games this week, 2 with North Green, 1 with Cott County. If you're a Chuckey-Doak fan or supporter watching this, come out on Tuesday at 5:30 for Cott County, and then Friday at 5 o'clock, hopefully for senior night, weather permitting. That's all I've got for you this week. Hopefully next week we'll sit down at the beginning of the week, talk about the postseason, talk about what lies ahead. It's an exciting time of the year. I know you're ready for the postseason, but you got 1 more week of the regular season left to go.
1 more week, and then the fun starts. Like you mentioned, it's when your real season starts.
Yeah.
And then the quality of baseball that you play determines on how long you play. We feel like we've got a chance to make a splash, but we got to go out and execute. We have the ability to do that, so we'll see what happens. We've had a lot of success in the past, and we're looking to get back to that. If I can get this program steered in the direction that my dad had it in, we'll be in a good spot. We're getting back to that, so we got to set the tone. I know last year we talked a lot about setting the tone. We came up a little short, so now it's just like, how much success can we have where it becomes repetitive and it becomes expected out of us to compete regionally and compete in sub-state. You go to sub-state, you're going to see, it's like we talked about it last week. You go to North Green goes to sub-state, they expect to see Coalfield. Yep. We want teams from East Middle Tennessee, they go to sub-state, they expect to see Chuckey-Doak. And that's not really the case right now, but we're working towards that. And I think we've got a group of guys that can go out and establish our identity as a program and really become a brand of baseball. Chuckey-Doak as a brand can expand with these guys because we get our name out there, we get recognition. We don't get a whole lot of that now. We're a little overlooked as a program. I think we're one of the better 2A programs around here, and we don't get a lot of coverage, we don't get a lot of hype, and I get it. We've got a record just a little above 500. I mean, we play a gauntlet of a schedule, but at the same time, we're competitive, and we got to start growing our face and our brand, and these guys got to go set the tone, starting this week and going into districts, set the tone. That way, Chuckey-Doak's a face that you become familiar with around this area.
It's the best time to get hot right at the end of the regular season here going into the postseason, but until next time when we talk about the district tournament, once again, I appreciate you sitting down with me. It's good to be out here on a nice warm day.
Yes, sir.
It's good to have the mountains behind us, too. Always love being down here in Lower Afton. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Jacob Willett Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.
Are you